It says, I have PTSD and anxiety. My new boyfriend does not get it, and I don't know what to do to make him. What to make him get it? How did you get my PTSD and anxiety when I was dealing with it? Because sometimes, half the time when I was dealing with it, I didn't know I was in it until she like, why you being weird? Like, why you being weird? Not in a mean way, but still she's like, why you being weird? And I say this too. I feel like one of the hardest parts about marriage is you have to deal with yourself in front of somebody. It's one thing to be single and you by yourself and you going through depression, being broke. I had a burp. It was a CMB. It was a CMB. It was a closed mouth burp. Whatever. Freaking judgmental. But what I'm saying is, it's I always say marriage. When you're single, marriage will make you reconcile everything you ran from in your singleness. And for me, I dealt with a lot, but I dealt with a lot by myself. But having my wife in my space while I'm growing doesn't always feel good. It feels vulnerable. It makes you feel naked. It makes you feel like you have a spotlight on you. And it doesn't always feel good. But a lot of times when I went through my stuff, I had to tell my wife what I was going through while I was going through it. And it didn't feel good at all. But my wife, I feel, was very supportive. And she would actually research and figure out how can I help him while he's going through depression. And honestly, for me, I said CMB, close my burp. Yeah, that's what it was. But I also told her, too, what I needed. I was like, look, my natural tendency when I'm going through my stuff is to run. But I need you to get in my space. I need you to touch my leg. I need you to put that cold leg on me, put them feet on me when we cuddle. Because if you just hold me and hold my hand while I'm going through something, I won't feel like I'm going through by myself.
Touch. Know your partner's love language.
Yeah. But I told you that too, especially when I was going through my depression. I was like, please just don't give me my, because her tendency was, let me give him some space while he go through his stuff. And I was like, no, get in my space, because I'm going to isolate. My mind is going to give me the worst scenario with whatever we're dealing with. And my mind is a very beautiful thing. It makes me a lot of money, but also it's a very dark, dark place where I'll be toxic and like ruin my own greatness because of fear. Like, it's easier to be like, they don't love me than say, hey, they're making me be better. You know what I'm saying? Like, my wife would just always challenge me to be better. Even now, like, doing this, I have to have, if I was BSing, she would call me out on it in front of everybody, like in front of these 41 people. She would call me out and be like, you a lie, you don't clean up, and you always on your phone. Like, my wife would, so she won't let me lie to you. So I'm grateful. But having that person in your space all the time and no days off when you're used to being you, it's a scary thing, which is also why I leaned into her when I met her. I was like, yo, she scares me, but I like it. And I know I need to work on this thing in order to be better.
But also, I want to answer from the opposite side of having PTSD and anxiety. For example, for the person who asked the question, I am your boyfriend. When Ron told me about his PTSD and his anxiety, I was like, I didn't get it. And honestly, sometimes it's not that you have to get it. You just have to hear the person and sympathize and empathize with them. Be there for them. Just being there for the person. Knowing, for example, his love language was touch. Like, me just being present at his place or him coming to my place and me touching him, me allowing him to go through whatever he went through and being there for him was enough. So I never really understood it. I never went through it myself, and I didn't know what to do. All I had to do was just be there. So sometimes it's not necessarily about understanding it or getting it or just knowing how it feels. It's just being there for the person. So, and it didn't even work out for us or for us to get to that point until he told me, because at first he just used to act weird, and I was like, nigga, what is wrong with you? So until he started telling me, like, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I have, for me to be able to research and know, like, okay, he's not acting weird, he's not being distant, he's not locking himself up in his house by himself for no reason, trying to get away from me. He's going through something. It's obviously a problem. How do I deal with this problem? How can I be there for him? Even though I don't understand it, I've never had it. I've never even, in our culture, we don't even talk about anxiety. We don't even talk about depression, or we don't even talk about PTSD. Like, how can I be there for this person knowing that he's going through something that I don't understand? So once I researched it and I realized, like, sometimes just being there for the person and hearing the person and touching the person, or whatever your partner's love language is, or whatever, or your love language is, just him being there for you might be more than enough. He doesn't really have to know about it, or you don't have to make him know about it. Just be very verbal about what you feel, be transparent, let him know, and then whatever he does at that point, then it's up to you to like adjust or know if he's going to be there for you or not. Because not everybody can be there for somebody that's going through PTSD or anxiety. You know, it's a hard thing when you don't understand it. Even for me personally, I was like, oh shoot, what do I do? Like, he shuts down, he gets quiet, you know. And then for me, it was completely different because I see him on stage and he's like, yo, what's up, party people? He's partying it up, you know, lively, and everybody loves comedian Ron G. And then I go home and he's like, and I'm like,
do my face again?
So, you know, I had to deal with ups and downs. And I'm like, yo, how the hell is the whole world get the best part of you? And then you come home and I get, well, I used to think it was the worst part of him, but it wasn't the worst part of him. It was the vulnerable part of him. It was the part of him that nobody gets to see.
That's good, man.
So I had to make sure that I protect that part of him, and I allow him to be vulnerable, and I put him in a space where he feels safe enough to be vulnerable and to talk to me about it. And then I did what I had to do to make sure that he was okay and he felt heard and he felt loved no matter what he was going through, and then we did it together. So
man,
I don't know if that helps.
That was so good, baby.
Thanks.
That was good, man.
Thanks.